My name is Gerard D, and I'm here to provide an answer for the trigonometry question. A reservoir supplies water through an aqueduct to Springfield, which is 15 miles from the reservoir at a 25-degree angle southeast of the reservoir. A pumping station at Springfield pumps water to Centerville, which is 7.5 miles due east of Springfield. Plans have been made to build an aqueduct directly from the reservoir to Centerville. How long will the new aqueduct be? I'm now going to go to my document, which I uploaded the completed problem. This is a problem for the law of cosines in trigonometry, which can solve it. First, I wanted to lay out my symbols here. R represent the point of the reservoir, S represents the point for Springfield, and C represents the point for Centerville. Moving to our right here, you see the north, south, east, west diagram, which also is applicable to the diagram below here. So point R on the left is represents the reservoir. Then the problem states that 15 miles southeast at an angle of 25 degrees below, which is 15 miles, is shown from point R to point S, S being Springfield. Then the problem states that the distance from Springfield to Centerville is an additional 7.5 miles east. Again, the angle between the R and dash line and the line of R to S, that angle in between is 25 degrees, which they mention in the problem. I define the angle alpha as the angle between the line RS and the line SC. Again, this is the law of cosines. What they want you to find is the distance between Centerville and the reservoir. If they had to pump an additional, build an additional aqueduct from the reservoir to Centerville. So you want to find the distance of the line RC. Well, this is a perfect use of the law of cosines. The law of cosines states, as you see below the diagram, that h squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab, and the cosine of the angle, here I call it alpha, between the lines of the triangle. I use h squared here. Typically, they use c squared. You'll see in textbooks. I use h just not to confuse it with the c I use for Centerville. And here I say the h represents the hypotenuse of the triangle, R to C. So if we fill in the values, we see below here, for A, in the law of cosines, that's the line SC. B is the line from RS, from the reservoir to Springfield. And then alpha is actually equal to 180 degrees minus the 25 degrees angle equals 155 degrees for the angle alpha. Again, an SC is 7.5 miles, as shown on the diagram, and RS is 15 miles. If we go down to fill those values into the law of cosines equation, here you have your a squared, your b squared, times 2ab cosine of, again, 155 degrees. If you compute that out, you get h squared is equal to 485.17. And then you take the square root of that, you get 22.03 miles, which makes sense because the distance, the hypotenuse distance, is always going to be longer than the other two sides. So the fact that one side, RS, is 15 miles and SC is 7.5 miles, it makes sense that RC is going to be a much considerably longer distance, which is 22.03 miles. One last note I want to make sure you understand is that you'll notice I picked for the angle 155 degrees, not the 25 degrees. And and that is because if you use a 25 degrees in the problem, you will get the opposite sign of the cosine, and that'll give you, and that will make this keep this as a negative. You'll get a vastly different answer for H. So it's important that you use the 155 degrees, not the 25. And again, we got the 155 by subtracting it from 180 degrees and subtracting the 25 from it. So that's the solution. Thank you very much.